Good afternoon. What up, Chaos Crew? Welcome to Chaos. My name is Brad. The stock market is crazy and chaotic. I made it my mission to help you guys own it. Looking at the markets today, boy, it's been super volatile. But I just wanted to check in on what's happening. I'm looking at the S&P 500 right now, and we are still very much in the green. It's up 1%, but not nearly as high as it was earlier in the day. We saw a huge drop off. The Dow is up 434 points. NASDAQ is sitting up 91 points as well, which is nearly 1%. Oil's back down below $90. And the big story today is that Bitcoin's down 2,500 points. It's down. That's good for being in the red about 12.25%. Now, if you are a avid, is avid the right word? If you're a Bitcoin holder, you've been a long time Bitcoin holder, this is probably not that big of a deal to you. And if you've been tracking Bitcoin or even cryptocurrency for a while, it's not a big deal to you. But the reason it happened is a big deal. So I know that we don't talk Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies that much on this channel, but it certainly is impacting the overall markets. And I just wanted to address it real quick. But Binance is pulling rank in the role of the crypto consolidator in chief amid public tensions with rival FTX, otherwise known as CZ, the CEO of Binance. Quoted as saying this afternoon, and he put this out in a tweet. This afternoon, FTX asked for our help. There is significant liquidity crunch. To protect users, we signed a non-binding letter of intent with the intent to fully acquire and help cover the liquidity crunch. We'll be conducting a full due diligence in coming days. Now, if you guys don't know the story about what's been going on here, it's actually very interesting. If you guys haven't checked it out, and even if you're not into crypto, right? Like, this is actually something that I think is at least worth following because the story is pretty darn interesting. So FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried, early investors were Binance. Okay. And FTX has almost died overnight, essentially. Years ago, Binance, like I mentioned, was an early investor in FTX. Then FTX started growing like crazy. I'm sure you guys have seen FTX all over the place on YouTube, on sports events. They've been all over the place. Then becoming the second largest exchange only to Binance. Steph Curry, Tom Brady got involved with FTX. It's been a thing. Unbelievable growth from them. Sam Bankman-Fried has done an incredible job. They started out as friends. Then, meaning Sam Bankman-Fried and CZ started as friends. They're now competitors, obviously. There was apparently word said about Binance from Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX, and then FTT, the FTX token, started taking a big shit. 2 days ago, CZ comes out and says that SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, basically has been talking shit about them to regulators, lobbying in a way that would hurt actually Binance. So he announces publicly on Twitter to his 7 million followers that he's going to dump his entire $2 billion FTT token stash. That's a huge drop, right? Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX didn't have that kind of liquidity. There's a saying in cryptocurrency, and really there's a saying in Bitcoin as a Bitcoin holder as well. If it's not your keys, then it's not your cheese. And that's what's happening here. So if you were trying to liquidate your Bitcoin from an exchange, Coinbase was also going nuts. FTX also going nuts. You had a tough time. So if you had a cold storage, if your crypto was just sitting in a cold storage wallet, you had nothing to worry about. But if it was sitting in one of these exchanges, you did. And that's one of the big problems right now with cryptocurrency and leverage issues, right? And it's not just cryptocurrency, right? It is also, we saw it with Robinhood and the GameStop debacle and AMC, which, by the way, has earnings today. So I don't want to get into this too much else today, but I did want to address it just because I know some of you guys are also involved in cryptocurrency, and I just thought it was worth a share. If you guys are interested in learning more about this story and continuing to follow this, I would encourage you to go check out DCTV. We'll be live with this tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and that is where my friends and I will talk more about this crazy story. And because I just, one more thing, because of the liquidity issues that we're experiencing, and now CZ, the CEO of Binance, arguably the most powerful man in crypto now, that he's potentially taking over FTX, it is raises liquidity concerns, and let's across the board, across the industry. So you take a look, and this is a 5 minute chart. I'm sorry, the 5 minute chart here on Bitcoin, and you can see how it just went absolutely nuts today. So it is insane. It is insane. That's your Bitcoin, your 5 minute Bitcoin chart. So, man, unbelievable, unbelievable. Delvis, so we go live on DCTV Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Just a heads up there. But yeah, huge crash in crypto. I just wanted to cover it. But man, I think this is an overreaction, obviously. But we saw the lowest price for Bitcoin this year based off of this news. So I thought it was at least worth reporting on, at least telling you guys what happened, because it's a very interesting story. So we will be talking about this on DCTV. Again, the link is in the chat there, and would love to carry on that conversation with you guys tomorrow about this. This is an unbelievable story that's unfolding here, and it's very entertaining. It's very dramatic. I'm loving it so far, honestly. Especially for those of you who are like, oh, whatever, it's just another day. Oh, I got this chair in my way here. Just another day in crypto land in the Wild West. All right. So before I get into anything else, I wanted to shout out my starting five as well. Chris Topher, Kevin Hawthorne, Froggy, Carmike, and Karim. Welcome here to Own the Chaos, of course. You guys are my starting five. If you missed the starting five, you didn't make it in there, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell as I go live Monday through Thursday at 3:45 p.m. Eastern time to cover earnings as they come through. That is what this channel does best. So if you want to get all your earnings action, this is going to be the place to go to. We have Disney that's going to be reporting earnings today after hours, among many other stocks that are going to be reporting as well. I for one, am actually pretty pumped. So we have Disney, Occidental Petroleum, AMC. We'll see where that goes. Upstart, Plug Power, Lucid, Affirm, Novavax, Blink, Lemonade. Remember Lemonade? Whatever the hell happened to that. I'm looking at a few other. Car Gurus is one. Where GoodRx. I actually had my eye on GoodRx as well, and a few other no-namers. If you guys want, if I haven't mentioned the one that you're looking at, please feel free to put it in the chat. Would love to cover that for you. But again, as this entire week has gone so far, and coming from last week too, just an unbelievable amount of stocks that are reporting earnings. So it is a bit of a challenge, but we're going to get right through it. So what are the expectations for Disney? Now, Disney is an interesting one. One of the big reasons for that is because of the streaming numbers. So Disney is expected to come in at 56 cents per share. That would represent a 51.4% year-over-year growth in profit from Disney, a company that's been around for 100 years. The consensus revenue estimate is $21.44 billion. That would be a 15.7% year-over-year increase, which is also absolutely amazing for what I would say is a quote-unquote value company, value stock. A few weeks prior to the results, a surprisingly strong subscriber report from Netflix suggested a sustained demand for entertainment. This helped spark a rally for a lot of the streaming peers, and actually Disney momentarily recovered from that. But Disney's been facing a lot of headwinds too. One of the big things has been the lockdowns in China, again, due to COVID. I don't know why China's still doing this, but it's just a control thing, if you ask me. Analysts have cut expectations about 18 times in the last 90 days. Excuse me. Good Lord. In the last what the hell was that? God. The last 90 days prior to the earnings, the expectations for earnings have been downgraded. God, I am so sorry. Something happened. Something crawled into my trout here. Whoa. I'm alive. I'm okay. Moving on. So Disney, as I said, has been been moving down off of some of the headwinds for the parks. Now the parks is really where their money is made. That's where their bread is buttered. But it seems as of the last, I would say 18 months, Disney has only really wanted to move on the streaming subscriber numbers. They lowered their guidance for through 2024 on their subscriber growth, but they're still growing like crazy, and they're growing faster than Netflix as far as their streaming services are concerned. So I am trying to lean a little bit more to the side of bullishness on Disney. Now, granted, it is a bit expensive still, even with this 50% move down from its highs. It's trading at 26 times next year's earnings. But I just got done telling you that their profitability is going up 50% if they come in with the numbers that we're expecting. That is insane to me and would be worth paying a premium for. So we'll see. We got a couple other stocks, but I just wanted to chat in with you guys, or check in with you guys and see how we're doing. Let's see here. AMC, Kelp's looking for AMC. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Killing them spy calls, says Jeff. What's up, Jeff? Good to hear that, man. By the way, nice new profile pic. Look at you all, Rico Suave. Sen's reporting today. We'll talk about that. Yeah, I'll just remind me. Kroger ditched GoodRx, says Bodie Beard. Sure did. And so, yeah, David Moore's here for AMC. So let's take a look at AMC next. AMC, take a look at the chart, obviously has gone through it. I try not to poo-poo on AMC as much as I can, but when people poo-poo on me because of AMC, I'm kind of like, listen, guys, I tried to tell you. Here's your weekly chart on AMC, okay? It's been brutal, absolutely brutal. We go back to the monthly, and it just hasn't been pretty. I don't know what to tell you about AMC other than it just doesn't seem investable to me at the moment. If you're in it for the sole reason of, well, I want to stick it to the man and short squeeze hasn't happened yet, and you just weren't a part of the actual short squeeze that did take place, I don't know what else to tell you. It's obviously very risky still. They still can't make money. I'm not quite sure what's actually in store for them for the future. I would be very concerned if I was an AMC holder and actually had an objective view. So short interest is around 21%, 20.25%, according to Seeking Alpha. So this is pretty high. I'm not going to take anything away from that. It is up 4.5% today. Market expectations, or earnings expectations, I should say, a loss of 25% or 25 cents, loss of 25 cents, $960.97 million. We have two upward revisions actually and two downwards. So that's an interesting one. Last time around, they came in and beat earnings per share by just 3 cents, missed on revenue though, which is very interesting considering that there's a lot of AMC apes out there talking about the increase in interest and demand for going back to the movies. To me, in my opinion, doesn't look like that's actually happened considering that they've missed on revenue expectations last quarter and really the quarter before too, if I'm not mistaken. So to me, look, AMC, maybe it has a nice little pop, but for anybody hoping that they're going to be able to stick it to the man because the short squeeze, the apes are just going to come in. I don't see that happen. The apes have been wiped out. They just have been. I don't know what else to say about it. It's been tough. But hey, listen, stranger things have happened. We'll see. We'll see what happens with AMC. But of course, we'll be covering it here after hours. Plug Power also reporting. This is a pandemic favorite as well. And it hasn't been doing too bad. Hasn't been doing too bad either. All things considered, I should say, when you compare it to some of the other ones. The stock is still down 50% year to date. When you compare it to something like some of the other crazy movers, such as Blink, which also has earnings today, and Lucid, and some of the other high-flying stocks during the pandemic, this one isn't quite as bad as those. So looking at earnings, loss of 22 cents, 247.21 million in revenue. Last time around, they actually missed on revenue and earnings per share. So we'll see about Plug Power. Upstart, also a wild stock. UPST. So this was once at $401 per share. This is closing at 19. Is this halted? That's interesting. It's halted. Okay. Huh. Looking at this expected earnings per share for Upstart, loss of 8 cents, $169.44 million. Not one upward revision here. Last time around, it absolutely got crushed. So markets are closed. Let's see if Disney is moving anything at all yet. Looks like it's starting to. See if I can see if there's any numbers here for Disney. Nope, nothing yet, but we'll keep an eye on that one. There's plenty of other stocks that are reporting as well. One of them I didn't get a chance to talk about before the close, but was Novavax. Novavax also reporting earnings today, and their earnings per share are expected to come in at $1.59 per share, 555 million in revenue as well. If you guys recall, this was a good COVID vaccine stock. Affirm also reporting today, and Novavax is actually moving up right now. Maybe I'll check, see if Novavax actually, that stock's up 3.5% here after hours. Novavax, anybody in Novavax still? Or decided to take a trade on that? Bitcoin got smoked today, says John Brooker. Yeah, we just talked about that. We just talked about that at the top of the show. So I'll come back to Novavax, but it looks like there's some interesting movement on that. Affirm also reporting earnings. That stock's just down slightly. Now, Affirm, as we know, has been just gone through it as well. This is one that has just been absolutely crushed. It's down 90% over the last 52 weeks. It's down 84% over the last, or since the beginning of the year. Expected earnings per share is a loss of 88 cents, $360.47 million in revenue. The thing about this is that, they've been operating for a loss, which has been not great. It's been terrible, but the growth story has been very interesting here for Affirm. You're starting to see them everywhere, and now they're moving their way into small businesses as well. Which Z Writer says, I'm bearish galore. I don't know if I would be bearish galore on a stock that's down 90%. It might be a little bit of a risk. If you went short on Affirm, I certainly wouldn't be short on Affirm that on a stock that's down 90%. I wouldn't be short on that. I would not be short on that at all. A couple other stocks that are reporting, as mentioned, Blink also reporting. Blink Charging, BLNK is the ticker symbol there. That is up 4%. Those numbers might be out. It's almost up 5% now. Here we go. Yep, those numbers are out. So Blink came in a loss of 51 cents per share versus a loss of 36 that was expected. So it looks like did they miss? Hold on. Let me just double check this. Blink's expected earnings per share was a loss of 46 cents. It looks like they missed on that. $15.73 million in revenue was expected for Blink, and it looks like they might have beat that number. Revenue, yeah, 17.2 million in revenue. So they crushed the revenue number, and they looks like they missed on earnings per share, but it looks like the investors are happy about the revenue number, which with a company like this, that's typically what happens. That's what the investors are looking for, is the revenue growth. I'm looking for guidance here as well. I would assume the guidance isn't bad on this one. Here's a couple more tidbits of info for them. 169% increase in total revenues. As mentioned, the 17.2 million for Q3 2022 compared to the 6.4 million in 21. That is an unbelievable growth story. 123% increase in service revenues to 3.1 million compared to the 1.4 a year ago. 436% increase in gross profit to 4.8 million in Q3. That is probably another reason why it had moved up compared to 892,000 in Q3 of 2021. 7,834 charging stations contracted, deployed, or sold in Q3. That's an increase of 160% from a year ago. if this stock performs poorly today and it's trying to figure out its life here, that is insane, especially in this environment. That growth is pretty wild. I mean, just repeat this: 160% growth year over year on charging stations contracted. I'm looking at 436% increase in gross profit from a year ago, 123% increase in service revenues from a year ago, and 170 increase in total revenue from a year ago. That is incredible for Blink Charging. This is some really good numbers for Blink. All right, let's check back in on Disney. This is all over the place right now. Looks like those numbers might actually be in. Okay. Disney came in, subscribers higher than expected, 164.2 million subscribers versus 160. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. They actually missed on expected subscriber growth. 164. Oh no. God damn it. They beat on subscriber growth 164.2 million versus 162.5. That number got me all jacked up. So they beat expectations on subscriber growth by about 2 million, 1.7 million. Revenue came in at $20.15 billion versus the 21.26 billion that was expected. So they missed on revenue, which may or may not be a surprise to you, considering the Shanghai shutdowns. Q4 adjusted earnings per share of 30 cents. As mentioned, 51 cents was the expectation. So they missed on revenue and they missed on earnings badly. Again, they missed on earnings. 30 cents was the actual expectation, was 51 cents. Revenue of 20.15 billion, missing expectations of 21.26. They also beat subscriber growth they came in 164.2 million subscribers, beating the expectation of 162.5. Those are your numbers. Let's see if there's anything else. The stock right now is down about 5% and still falling here. Revenue for the quarter and year grew 9% regardless of missing those expectations. A quote here from Disney, the CEO from Bob Chapek: 2022 was a strong year for Disney with some of our strongest storytelling yet. Record results at our parks, experiences and product segments, and outstanding subscriber growth at our direct consumer services, which added nearly 57 million subscriptions this year for a total of more than 235 million. Our fourth quarter strong subscription growth with the addition of 14.6 million total subscriptions, including 12.1 million Disney Plus subscribers. The rapid growth of Disney Plus in just 3 years launch is a direct result of our strategic decision to invest heavily in creating incredible content and rolling out services internationally. By realigning our costs and realizing the benefits of price increases and our Disney Plus ad support tier coming in December 8th, we believe that we'll be on the path to achieve a profitable streaming business that will drive continued growth and generate shareholder value long into the future. That is from Bob Chapek, but none of that seems to matter as the stock continues to plummet down around 5%. So they came in and missed on earnings per share. They missed on revenue, but they actually beat on that subscriber growth, which is interesting because you would think that this, based off on how the stock has moved in recent quarters, you would think that it wouldn't be down 5%. But I think that miss, and in particular, the miss in profit, it came in 30 cents. The expectation was 51 cents per share. So they missed pretty badly on that. Whatever extra cost they had to incur for whatever reason. Now the stock's right now is sitting at around $95 a share. That puts us, this is on the daily chart, that puts us at around right here. So let me bring this down. This is at $95 a share, right around here. And so come down a little bit more. Come on, B. So right around here is where $95 is. I think that there's a possibility we see it come down to at least $92 a share, which, you know, we saw that kind of come down as low as 94. So I think 92 could certainly be on the board just from a chart perspective. Looks like that's more than likely a scenario in which probably comes to fruition. And worst case, Let me take it back. Not worst case, but I think less likely, but still likely to happen. Could come down to not test that $90 low. Remember that was like a little double bottom that we saw between July and October of this year. So very interesting move there on Disney. Stock's now down 5%. Checking in on some of the other ones here. Let's check back in with Affirm. That stock's now down 17%. Jesus Christ. All right, here's your 5-minute chart on Affirm. That's now sitting at $12.78. Clearly, those earnings are out. Let me see if I can grab those numbers for you guys. Looks like they came in at a loss of 86 cents, missing the 83-cent estimate, a loss of 83-cent estimate. Sales came in at 361.62 million. They actually beat the estimates for that number. It was at 359.68 million and for the expectation. So beating those revenue estimates, but missing on earnings per share. I would imagine the reason the stock is now down 17% is probably has something to do with guidance, but I'm not entirely sure. Let me see if I can read more about this and see what's going on with Affirm. So the preliminary numbers are that Affirm missed on earnings per share by 3 cents, but then comes in and beats on revenue expectations. God, that stock's still getting crushed. I stand corrected. Who said that? Z-Writer? Bearish galore. Yeah. I stand corrected. Congrats. If you went short on this, good on you. Stock's down 17%. Revenue of approximately here's your financial outlook for the fourth quarter. Revenue of approximately 125 to 145 million. That is pretty low. Revenue from fees approximately 160 million. Net income, is that right? I mean, they just came off of a $361 million revenue quarter, and now they're going to guide half of that for the current quarter? Huh. So they came in for a loss of 86 cents. The expectation was a loss of 82. So they missed on earnings per share. They beat on revenue. They see fiscal year. Here's another guidance. They see fiscal year 2023 revenue at 1.6 billion to 1.675 versus the 1.7 that was expected. So they did miss on guidance, so lowering their guidance there, and that's why the stock is getting crushed. And that's now down 17%. My goodness, Affirm. Whew. Jesus Christ. All right, let's check in on AMC, see if that's moving. We saw a little bit of movement there, but nothing too crazy just yet. Down 1% here after hours. I don't think that doesn't look like that movement is anything. No, it doesn't look like AMC's earnings are out just yet. So hang in there, guys. So let's take a look at Upstart. That stock halted going into the close. Oops. PST. It's still halted. I don't know what's going on there. Don't really see any numbers out. Let's see. Oh, looks like Zoldra says that those numbers are out. Let's take a look at Upstart's numbers. Total revenue was 157 million. Loss from operations was 58.1 million. Yikes. Oh my goodness. This is really bad. Adjusted net income loss was 19.3 million. GAAP diluted earnings per share was a loss of 69 cents. Adjusted EBITDA was 14.4 million. The expectations for Upstart was a loss of 8 cents, and they came in at a loss of 69. $169.44 million in revenue was expected. 157 was the actual. So that's also a miss. They missed on revenue, and they came in like at a ridiculous loss in profitability for Upstart. Jesus Christ. My God. What an unbelievable miss for Lemonade or for Upstart. So let's take a look at Lemonade next. They're also reporting that stock is down 3.5% after already being down about 0.5% today. God, I can't look at Upstart. Once that starts trading again, that's going to be ugly. Lemonade's expectations. Let's check out those expectations real quick. What were we expecting from Lemonade? Earnings expectations were supposed to be around a loss of $25, $64.74 million in revenue. Let's see what those actual numbers are. That stock is down around 3.5% right now. It came in at revenue of $195.5 million. The estimate, as I'd mentioned, was 64. Is that right? Let me just double check. $64.74 million in revenue. But I'm seeing, oh, I'm sorry. That's not Lemonade. That's why I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Let's see here. Don't have those Lemonade numbers yet. As soon as they come out, I will grab those. But Lucid also looks like those numbers are out. Let's take a look at Lucid real quick. Lucid's down 3% as well. That was after it already had a 2.5% down day. They came in loss per share of 40 cents. Lucid's expectations were a loss of 30 cents. So they missed on earnings per share. Revenue came in at 195.5 million. The estimate there was 204 million. So Lucid also missed on revenue as well. Good God Almighty. It's just getting worse and worse for a lot of these speculative stocks, right? I mean, huge moves on things like Lemonade and Lucid and a lot of these other stocks we were talking about. Upstart, it's a $400 stock at one point. Now just going to get absolutely crushed. I mean, good God. Whew. All right. Melanie Hutchinson, what's up? What's up, one of my OGs? Hope you're well. Let's take a look at Occidental Petroleum. That stock's up slightly, only about 0.25%. Let's see if those numbers are in. Oxy don't have, yes, I do. Occidental Petroleum was expected to come in at $2.45, $9.05 billion in revenue. They came in, let's see here. For actual, let's see if we can find those numbers. Come on. Still waiting on those numbers, I think. The stock's up slightly, though. We'll see. So no numbers on Occidental Petroleum yet. Let's take a look back in on Lemonade. As that stock was down now 3% here after hours. Try to see if I can grab those numbers for you. Doesn't look like Lemonade's numbers are out just yet. Although the stock is down quite a bit. I'm not seeing anything on Twitter. I'm not seeing anything in my news feeds. None of my resources are telling me that Lemonade's numbers are out. If you guys find them, of course, please feel free to share them. But I got nothing. Carmike says CEO for Upstart asked for a halt to give him enough time to flee the country. that's horrible, but probably true. Michael's mad that they halted Upstart. Upstart, let's take a look. Is it not halted anymore? Not yet. God, when that thing starts trading, Jesus Christ, that's going to be ugly. If you guys are just tuning in, we did cover a lot of stocks already, but Disney's down around 6%. Yeah, still, it's almost at the lows of the session here in after hours trading on a miss of earnings per share. They came in at 30 cents per share. The expectation was 51 cents per share. So really big miss on profitability, but then they also missed on revenue as well. The one thing they didn't miss on was subscriber growth, which they actually beat by nearly 2 million subscribers on expectations. So, they missed on profitability, they missed on revenue. A lot of that was attributed to the shutdowns in Shanghai that they're still, facing headwinds from. But Bob Chapek did talk about how they saw some really significant growth in revenue and demand still looks good. I think that this, to me, kind of seems as if it could be an opportunity for Disney. That's That's what I think. You know, if Disney's down because of what happened in Shanghai, then perhaps um, that's just going to be a temporary thing and pay off for you guys. For those of you who are looking at Disney now, AMC has started to move. That stock is all over the place right now. It was green after hours. Now it's trying to figure its life out. It looks as if those numbers are in. AMC came in for a loss of 20 cents. The expectation was a loss of 24. Estimated sales came in at 968.4 million, beating expectations of 961. As let's see here. People are getting way too excited on Twitter over this. It's a beat, but they're still trading for a loss, guys. They're still operating for a loss. AMC has sold approximately 14.9 million shares of its AMC preferred equity units as a raise of net proceeds of approximately 36.4 million. So let me repeat this, guys. For those of you who are AMC holders, okay? Stock's moving up. So congrats to those of you who are in, who went long on AMC at the bottom here. But AMC diluted to give you those numbers. AMC has sold approximately 14.9 million shares of its AMC preferred equity units and has raised the net proceeds of approximately 36.4 million. And they're still at a loss. I'm sure that there's people that are excited about this number right here where they're seeing this green, but let's just read that for what it is. They're diluting their stock. They're diluting you guys. Please tell me that you guys get that. Please tell me you guys get that. I'm not trying to shit on anybody. I'm just saying, like, that's what they said. Don't shoot the messenger. Isn't that a smart move? It would be a smart move if they were actually putting that money towards something to actually grow the company. But my assumption is that's probably not the case. They're trying to just continue to pay off all of their debt that they have. It's probably what the money they're and debt that they can't keep up with. Darwin says, but there's oh shit. John says, but again, they're still diluting people. That's what he's talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Money from ape offerings was used to reduce debt from AMC. Awesome. It's up. Stock's up now 6.5%, but they diluted the investor for that. In most cases, that doesn't usually work out. Well, listen, AMC could do something different because they have an army of so-called apes that have been wiped out by a lot, by the way. So, hey, listen, hope it does well for you guys. Hope it goes crazy. But that's a no thanks for me. They did beat, listen, they beat expectations. You can't take that away from them. But the dilution is just not good. I don't like any company that dilutes unless I'm trading it. Let me make myself clear. Because I've traded plenty of stocks that dilute. I don't hold on to them forever. I don't hold on to stocks forever that dilute. So you'll see me trade penny stocks and stuff like that, and that's what they are. They're just trades. I'm in and out. Maybe I'll swing trade it here and there. You guys saw me make a hell of a trade on Mullen a couple weeks ago. That was awesome. I took my money. I have some house money in there now. Money that I made that I just left in there. I took my initial investment and ran for the hills, laughed all the way to the bank. But for something that continues to dilute, I went through this back when weed stocks were a thing, right? And everybody and their mother were screaming at me about Aurora Cannabis and how I'm so wrong about it. But then you look at their books and it's like they're still diluting like crazy. They're still in debt up to their eyeballs. So a trade's a trade. Make your money. But the difference between somebody just holding on to AMC thinking it's going to 100K and somebody who trades AMC and makes their money and runs, two different things. You guys just have to decide what type of strategy you're employing. Presto says AMC cooking the books. Wish they'd let everyone know the real facts about their debt and how Ape technically failed. Thank you. Presto gets it. My man. The whole AMC thing was to distract people from GME. All they needed was us to spread the money around instead of, Michael, I don't put my tinfoil hat on too much, but that would make sense if that was true. Acidane says, I think trading penny stocks will develop a bad habit on a trader. If you want to be consistent, trade big cap stocks. Depends on your strategy. I cut my teeth on penny stocks. The difference is that I knew when to take my money and run. You just got to know. You just got to know that it doesn't last forever. And actually, I think that's what helped me when I saw AMC. I'm like, this looks exactly like penny stock trading and GameStop and all of those. So Carmack says Abe's too busy dealing with court charges. I did say that. So, and wheat stocks are still diluting like crazy, by the way. Just here's an example, right? We'll take it. And I think Aurora does have earnings. This is Aurora Cannabis. ACB is the ticker symbol for Aurora. And what I was talking about is way back here. So Aurora Cannabis, actually, let's go back to the weekly chart. So when Aurora Cannabis was going crazy, this is back in 2017. Yes, I was on YouTube back then talking about Aurora Cannabis and how crazy it was. That whole time in the market was wild. But you look at the books and it, shot up to $150 per share. Everybody was like, I told you, motherfucker, blah, 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 blah. I said, do your due diligence. And now it's sitting at $1.30 per share. And they've reverse split God knows how many times. AMC, the ape dilution method was basically just that. It was a wolf in sheep's clothing, and now the stock's red. So there you have it. The AMC story is not done. Well, for you, I hope it's not. But in my opinion, it is. All right, checking out a couple other ones. Some other people. Danny Level, exactly. So Acidane says, when you get caught on penny stocks, you lose your pants if you don't know what you're doing. And this is what happens. Danny Level, you can't go broke taking a profit. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. Has Upstart moved yet? Nope. God, that's going to be ugly tomorrow. Good God. Upstart missed earnings badly, by the way, guys. If you guys are just tuning in, Upstart, just don't even look. Just don't even look. Daniel G asking about Disney. I did review Disney. They missed on earnings per share. They missed on revenue, and they missed on earnings per share badly, by the way. Subscriber growth was good, though. They beat on that by about 2 million subscribers. So Tigers S says trading resumes in 2 minutes. All right. If you're watching right now, please don't go anywhere, because if they do resume trading if they do resume trading here momentarily, this is going to be entertaining to watch for the least. I sure hope nobody's watching that is actually in Upstart, because it's going to be ugly. And for me, it's just going to be entertaining. So to just kind of give you guys the backstory on this, Upstart, once a $400 stock, closed the day at $19.04, and they absolutely got wrecked. And hold on a second. SoFi. Oh, no, it's not SoFi. It's just a parody account. That's going to get. Upstart might get that $12 to $13, $13 area. Well, based off of those numbers, I wouldn't be surprised if it got below $10 a share. I think this is dropping 50%. I mean, they came in revenue $157 million versus $172 million that was expected. They came in at a loss per share of 24 cents versus the 7 cents that was expected. Q3 sales are 157 to 169 estimates. Q4 sales, the guidance there also isn't any better. 125 to 145 million is the actual guidance versus 185 million that was expected. And it's still halted. I just want to see what happens once this goes live. Upstart has $750 million in stockholder equity. Not after today. Not after today. Woo! It's going to be a lot less than that. Yeah. SoFi's growing like crazy. Stop Console War says the Democrat win is positive for SoFi too. I don't know about that. I think a purple election is always good for the markets. You know why? Because everything deadlocks. Nobody gets anything done in the market. You look at historically. By the way, hopefully you guys went and voted today. I sure hope you did. Exercise your civil right to do so. But yes, gridlock. Nate, thank you. Gridlock. This is what's good for the market. Nothing getting done in office, nothing getting done in legislation is actually good for the market because it provides clarity. I know that sounds counterproductive, right? Because your life, your wallet, it could be impacted or nothing happens to it. But markets love clarity and they don't like surprises in most cases. So when there's like a purple election, meaning that there's a mix of everything, and let's just say the Democrats keep the Senate and Republicans take over the House, that's just going to gridlock everything. Nothing gets done, and the markets love that shit. They love it. So I know that everybody wants to say, "Oh, blue wave, oh, red wave, blue wall. Here comes the red wave, blue wall." That's ain't gonna do shit for your investments. That's probably not going to actually probably going to do the opposite. So hope for a gridlock if you guys really want your portfolio to do well off of an election day. All right. Purple's the new gold. Exactly. Exactly. Oh man. Still no movement on Upstart. So we'll come back to this. What else haven't I covered? I feel like I've covered a lot. Let's see. GoodRx, GDRX. Let's see if there's any movement on that. That stock's down. Oh my God, that stock gap down on the 5-minute chart. Now down 11.45%. GoodRx, GDRX. Let's see here. They came in total revenue 187.3 million versus 185, so they missed on revenue. Q3 adjusted earnings per share 7 cents versus the 4.2 cents that was expected, so that's not bad. That's a good beat. EBITDA came in at 52 million versus the 37. I imagine this has everything to do with guidance. Revenue, yeah. So they beat revenue. They beat on earnings per share. For Q4, the company expects revenue in the range of 175 to 180 million versus the 204 that was expected. So that is why that stock is getting crushed. Listen, guys, the guidance is everything, man. Guidance is everything. They beat on the quarter and then ended up shitting the bed on guidance, and that's usually what kills the stock. Plug is down. I think Plug. I thought we covered Plug. Maybe we didn't. I know I covered the expectation for Plug. Let's see. By the way, their new logo is weird. Plug came in and missed on earnings per share. They came in at a loss of 30 cents versus a 23% loss estimate. Sales came in at 188.62 million versus the 248 that was expected. They reaffirmed their 2022 guidance despite missing by what, $60 million for the quarter in revenue. Jesus, they're lucky it's not down more than 2%. Good Lord. All right, let's check out Lemonade, see if those numbers are actually out yet. Last I checked, I didn't have those numbers, but the stock had already moved downward. That stock is now sitting only down around 0.78%, so just barely about 1%. Let's see. So Lemonade, nope, nothing there. Expectations for Lemonade was a loss of $1.25. $64.74 million was expected for revenue. but I still got nothing as far as numbers are concerned. Doesn't look as if those numbers are out yet. Stock's now down 2%. Really not really on much any volume. All right, let's check back in on Upstart. See a lot of you guys talking. Oh yeah, here we go. Upstart's down 20% right out of the gate. Here we go. Still getting crushed. So if you guys are just tuning in, Upstart just came out with absolutely atrocious quarter. Um, let's see here. Oh my God, the memes on Twitter. Jesus Christ. The memes on Twitter. Oh my God. This is why Twitter's like the best and the worst platform. That's all Elon Musk tweet about that. And it's so true. It's so true. Stock's now down 22% after hours. And I got to say that it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be right out of the gate. It's early yet. But for those of you just tuning in, a loss of 24 cents is what Upstart came in at. They were expected to come in at a loss of 7 cents. They also missed revenue by $12.21 million. The big kicker here was the guidance. Revenue of approximately $125 to $145 million for the fourth quarter. Everybody was expecting them to come in at $185 million for the fourth quarter. That's the quarter that we're in right now. So Upstart stating that they're going to be missing their guidance by $40 million at least. Could be an upwards of $60 million. And it is getting crushed. Good God Almighty. This is absolutely insane. That's a good question. So, Tabuco, I actually grabbed my earnings reports from various resources so that I can get them to you guys as soon as possible. I got Twitter. Stock Titan is a great platform that I grabbed that from. Also, Seeking Alpha. I mean, there's various sources. There isn't just one source I grabbed them from. And most cases, I'll actually cross-reference because they come out so fast that it's usually the first one you see doesn't always mean it's the most accurate one. I love Presto X should change the company name to Downstart. I love that. I'm stealing that, by the way. I'm going to tweet that out. Appreciate the content, bro. I'm stealing it, but I love that. All right, so let's see what else. Have I covered everything else? I think I've covered everything. So Disney came in. Just to recap, let's take a look back in on that stock. Disney came in. They missed on earnings per share. They missed on revenue. And the earnings per share is a real big kicker here. So they missed by a lot. They came in at 30 cents per share. The expectation was 51. And they came in and missed on revenue. But the bright spots here are that most of that revenue and earnings miss was because of the Shanghai shutdown. They're in the quarter that they're reporting on. And the another bright spot here is also the subscriber growth for the Disney Plus program. They missed or they beat expectations by nearly 2 million subscribers. So really good growth there. We'll see what the stock does. Right now, it's right now, I won't say only. Right now, it's down 6%. Occidental Petroleum, I think they came in and did pretty well on earnings, even though the stock's down around 0.5%. AMC came in, beat on earnings per share, beat on revenue, but then talked about how much they're diluting. And the stock obviously is not responding well to that. It's down around 3, almost 4% now after the move up to $6 per share. Not really a surprise there. Guys, listen to me. Dilution never wins. Ever. Ever. Upstart came in, and we just talked about this. Absolutely shit the bed on earnings, and really the guidance number is what's really bringing the stock down. It was halted for quite a while. Now down around 23%. Probably going to go down lower than that. Sitting at $14.60 some cents after closing the day at $19. This stock was up to $400 per share just 18 months ago. Plug Power also came in, and I think they missed on earnings. That stock's down only around 1.5%. Lucid also missed on earnings, missed on revenue, and the stock is now down 6.5%. Not surprising there. Affirm really shit the bed. Guidance was the big kicker here. They missed on guidance, and that stock's now down 18, almost 19%. Jesus Christ. Novavax, I didn't think I got those numbers, but that stock is up almost 4%. If anybody's actually really concerned about Novavax, I can come back on that one. Blink had an incredible quarter. That stock is only up around 2.5%, but those numbers, I mean, we're talking about 466% growth in certain areas of their business and year over year. That is an amazing growth story here for Blink Charging. And even though the stock hasn't moved much, I like this. I like the movement here. They're not profitable yet, but I think they will be. And that growth is absolutely extraordinary. Lemonade, I don't think we got those numbers on Lemonade yet either. Let's take a look at the stock. That's down now 7%. I would imagine those numbers are in. Let me cover that real quick. Lemonade. Okay. Here we go. They came in loss of $1.37. The expectation, I think, was what did I say? $1.25. Yeah, I lost $1.25. So they missed. That's GAAP earnings. Okay, so no, that's GAAP earnings. Let me see what adjusted earnings per share were. No, that's right. $1.37. So they came in and missed on earnings per share. Sales came in at 74 million. They beat that estimate of around 65 million. And it looks as if guidance isn't great. They see Q4 they guided revenue here for Q4 77 to $80 million. The consensus was 80.73. So they missed on guidance as well. Stock's down 8.5%. This is crazy. This is another stock that was up insane. $188 just a year and a half ago. Not even a year and a half ago. January of this year is sitting at $188. Now just trading at $17.55 here in after hours. Wow. 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 That is crazy. That unbelievable. Okay, so there's Lemonade. Let's see what else. I think I covered just about everything else that was worth covering. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please feel free, if you're visiting for the first time, hit that subscribe button because I'll be back tomorrow at 3:45 p.m. Eastern time to do this all over again with y'all folks. I appreciate every single one of you. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Tomorrow, we're going to be covering Rivian, Dutch Bros, Digital Turbine, Wynn Resorts, Unity Software, Beyond Meat Coupon, and many others as well. So, Celsius. Maybe we won't cover Celsius. But those are your earnings that we're going to be reacting to tomorrow. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.